invite Mr. Bijoy Talukdar to come on stage and receive his PhD degree. His work is on segmental differences and impact of supply chain performance on profitability in select Indian industry. I now invite on stage Ankita Kashyap. Her thesis title is Assessing Buyer-Supplier Collaboration and Sustainable Practices of the Organization. I now invite Kanika Dhingra to come on stage to receive her PhD degree. The title of her thesis is Determinants of Domestic versus Inbound Mergers and Acquisition, a study of pharmaceutical, healthcare and FMCG sector in India. I now invite Sunaina Kapoor to receive her PhD degree for her work on a study on impact of brand scandal on consumer attitudes. I would now like to call Sashank Shekhar Sharma to receive his PhD degree. His thesis is on enhancing revenue prediction, accuracy of experience goods with sentiment and social network analysis, a case of Bollywood movies. Let me now invite Kashika Arora to receive her PhD degree. Title of her thesis is Post-Liberalization Analysis of India's Export Competitiveness and Technological Capability for the Manufacturing Sector. Congratulations to all of you. Now, we will begin with the presentation of some well-deserved medals and prizes to our achievers. Honorable Chief Guest is requested to kindly present the awardees for their perseverance and diligence they have shown as IFT students. We will first begin with full-time batch MBA 2020-22. The gold medal for full-time MBA batch of 2022 Delhi Kolkata campus goes to Varun Maheshwari. The silver medal for full-time MBA 2022 goes to the second rank holder Adarsh Kumar Singh. The bronze medal for full-time MBA Delhi and Kolkata campus goes to third rank holder Sanchita Gupta. The all-round proficiency award of MBA 2022 Delhi campus goes to Wasim Alam. The all-round proficiency award. The all-right proficiency award for MBA 2022 Kolkata campus goes to Varun Maheshwari. Professor Sumitra Chisti Memorial Award. This award is given for the best performance in economics and trade policy courses of MBA IB. The award was established in 2006 to honor the memory of an outstanding faculty of IFT, Professor Sumitra Chisti. For the batch of 2022, the award goes to Ms. Apurva Bajaj. Jyotiba Phule Gold Medal for Best Female Student of Full-Time MBA 2022 also goes to Ms. Apurva Bajaj. The Ornate Solar Award for Thought Leaders in Renewables, MBA 2022, Delhi Kolkata campus goes to Aditya Banerjee. PDS International Award for Excellence in the area of logistics has been instituted this year by IFT alumnus Mr. Manu Chopra. The PDS International Award for the batch of MBA IB 2022 goes to Adarsh Singh and Sarabjit Jena. Now we will move to the awardees of the weekend MBA program of the 2019-22 batch. Next, we have the awardees of the Weekend MBA Program 2019-22 batch. The gold medal goes to Vaibhav Gupta of the Weekend MBA Program 2019-22, Delhi campus. Let's welcome Shilpi Gupta to receive the silver medal for the Weekend MBA program of 2019-22 Delhi campus. The bronze medal Weekend MBA program of 1922 Delhi campus goes to the third rank holder Jaskaran Singh Narang and Parul Singh. We now have the awardees of MA Economics 2020-22. The gold medal goes to Pragati Dabas of MA Economics 2020-22 Delhi and Kolkata campus for securing first rank. A big round of applause, please. The silver medal goes to Aishi Sen Gupta and Kavya Benara for securing the second position. The bronze medal goes to Khushi Jain for securing the third position. Next, we present to you the awardees of Executive Postgraduate Diploma in International Business Weekend on Campus 2020-21. The gold medal for EPGDIB 2021 goes to Madhura Mukherjee. The silver medal goes to Rahul Sharma. Please give a big round of applause for Rahul Sharma. The bronze medal for EPGDIB goes to Shreni Satani.
We now present to you the awardees of Executive Postgraduate Diploma in International Business. Now we present to you the awardees of Executive Postgraduate Diploma in International Business Hybrid 2020-21. The gold medal for EPGDIB Hybrid goes to Gunjan Kaushik. The silver medal for EPGDIB Hybrid goes to Vivek Narayanan. The bronze medal for Executive Postgraduate Diploma in International Business Hybrid goes to Vaishali Tawar. Let's put our hands together for all the achievers. Thank you, Honorable Chief Guest, for presenting the awards. And once again, heartiest congratulations to all the winners over here. We'd now like to introduce to you our esteemed Chief Guest. Honorable Shri Piyush Goyal ji is currently the Minister of Commerce and Industry, Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Textiles and leader of the Rajya Sabha. He has also held the portfolio of Minister of Railways, Finance, Corporate Affairs, Coal, Power, New and Renewable Energy and Mines previously. In his tenure as Minister of Commerce and Industry, India achieved its highest ever exports of about $675 billion in 2021-22. He led the signing of a free trade agreement with UAE, the fastest ever negotiated FTA globally, and the India-Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, India's first agreement with a developed country after a decade. He oversaw the launch of production-linked incentive schemes to bring manufacturing at the center stage and emphasize its significance in driving growth and creating jobs. As Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, he led the implementation of the world's largest food security program, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, by distribution of free food grains to nearly 80 crore people over 2 years, providing support to the poor, vulnerable and weaker sections of society who were affected the most by COVID-19 pandemic. As Minister of Railways, India achieved the best ever safety record of 0 passenger deaths in rail accidents. The Power, Coal and New and Renewable Energy Ministries led transformational changes in India's power sector during his tenure. Sir has also received the 4th annual Carnot Prize in 2018, recognizing the path-breaking transformations in India's energy sector. During his 35-year-long political career, he has held several important positions at different levels in world's largest political party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, and is in its national executive. Sir has had a brilliant academic record as well. All India's second rank holder, chartered accountant, and second rank holder in law in Mumbai University. He was a well-known investment banker and has advised top corporations on management strategy and growth. He has also served on the board of India's largest commercial bank, the State Bank of India and Bank of Baroda. We now request our chief guest for his convocation address, please.
I think that was a bit long, wasn't it? Professor Manoj Pant, the Vice Chancellor of the IIFT, and at whose invitation we are all here, my colleague and Commerce Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Chancellor of IIFT, Shri BVR Subramaniam ji, Mr. Amit Yadav, Secretary Designate in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, also looking after the affairs of the IIFT, Ms. Satinder Bhatia, Mr. Rangarajan, Mr. Rastogi, other colleagues from different ministries who have joined us today, faculty members of IIFT, proud parents, many of whom could not, or rather I don't think any of them could not get place in this room, but are there in large number as I saw them when I came in. And of course, the main purpose for all of us to be here, the lovely students who have all assembled here, a very, very good evening to all of you. It's indeed a very happy moment of celebration as each one of you graduates today. Different programs, different tenures in the institute, but one objective, gaining knowledge. As the Chancellor was mentioning, your institute certainly has earned a very good name, not only in India but overseas as well. As the Vice Chancellor was mentioning, there's a lot of interest to partner with your institute. But clearly, the strength and dynamism of your study here is reflective of, as I just heard, 60 years of painstaking effort that has gone in, thousands and thousands of students who have passed through the institute, done the nation proud, done the institute proud, serving trade in different fields across the world, and gaining from the rich exposure to trade that you get during the course of your study here. I think it prepares you for the tough ups and downs of trade, be it domestic, be it international trade. And therefore, as I was just told, almost every student coming out of IIFT gets a very good placement, gets a very good job offer. Many of them also look at entrepreneurship, starting their own business. All of this has been possible because of the rich curriculum that this institute has developed. Also a lot of practical exposure, summer training at different places. I don't know, why don't you send some of the kids to our ministry also? I think we'd be very, very grateful if some of the students could consider coming to the ministry. And I promise you, it will be a very, very enriching experience, getting first-hand knowledge about all that's happening at the highest level of government related to commerce, related to industry, trade. But then 60 years is also a good time to reflect. And your Vice Chancellor just gave me a really big book. I don't know how I'll ever be able to go through it. So I was skimming through it. And you know, politicians can find the right place. Nazar theek jagah pe jaake tikti hai. So I found this page 880. And the title is In This Country. It's a Kannada small poem written by G.S. Shivarudrappa and translated by Mr. G.S. Amur. But I'm only reading out to bring the pressure down and to make this a little lighter conversation that I would like to have with you. And from that, maybe pick up one or two threads which I want to speak about. But it's quite appropriate for us politicians. For many of you, when you get into the real life also, you will be faced with a similar situation. It says, and I quote, in this country, from top to bottom, everything should change. But the chair bearing me and the bit of earth beneath had better be where they are. This is what we'll all face in our life. We all like to be where we are. We are right. What we are doing is the right thing. My chair had better be secure. But everybody else needs to change. Everybody in the country needs to change. Everything in the country needs to change. But me. And I think that's the lesson of life that probably this poet is trying to share with us. Change is inevitable. And as circumstances change, we all better change. If we'll be rooted in the past, we'll never go ahead in life. In fact, the Honorable Prime Minister, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, as we celebrated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of independence, gave us some very good thoughts about the 5 vows, Panch Pran, which he spoke about. First of it is very relevant to all of us. All of you are going to be there in 2047 as we celebrate 100 years of independence. And therefore the next 25 years, which we have looked at as the Amrit Kal, the defining period, and every nation's history has a period of time which truly defines its future. And we believe this next 25 years are going to determine the fate of this country, the fate of our children, the fate of our families, the fate of the poor, the downtrodden, those who have been left behind and not got a chance that all of you in this room have got to study at a prestigious university institute like IIFT. But in these 25 years, it will be the collective effort of all of us which will change our beloved country, which will bring change in everything we do. In fact, as I walked into the institute, I was sharing with the Vice Chancellor that maybe it's time taking the second pran that Prime Minister Modi said seriously. Maybe we need to get out of this colonial mindset also. This is the part of the colonial mindset which we have inherited. I don't know what's the vote of the students in this room. Shall I take this as an affirmation that we need to change even this mindset of this old age fashion? Suddenly we need to have a cap or something so you can enjoy the convocation and your graduation. But I think the rest of it could possibly be more contemporary. And I could offer the services of the National Institute of Fashion Technology. So it's a deal. Great. So my second convocation, actually the only university or institute where I've come twice. Normally after the first I let somebody else take over. But I have a particular affinity for this institute. Because I do believe this institute can move mountains. And your students and your alumni will have a very big role to play if we have to make India a developed country by 2047. That should be the collective aim of all of us in this room. And whatever we can contribute, like squirrels help make the Ram Setu. गिलहरियों ने मिलके तो राम सेतु बनाया था ना. Every single person's contribution matters. It could be big, it could be small. People make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. Things evolve. But end of the day, every one of us contributes. That's the collective effort of the nation, which will take us to prosperity for 130 crore Indians. And therefore, I would urge all the young friends at this convocation, you have been empowered by the quality of education and of course by the sheer dint of hard work that each one of you put in as students of IIFT. But it's a crucial time now when you are giving back to society, to the nation, and of course to your families also. As you get into the real life, as you start facing real challenges, as you start reflecting on what you had studied in real life situations, you learn new things, you'll unlearn a few things also, because the Vice Chancellor assured me that the curriculum is quite contemporary. It's very relevant to current day trends. But I do think as you enter into the real life, one must always keep at the back of our mind that each one of us sitting in this room is a privileged person, has had the privilege of being a part of IIFT, as have, I'm told, roughly 48,000 students, alumni from IIFT over the last 55 years. And I think the collective energy that these 48,000 students can bring to the table, can offer in nation building, can be phenomenal when we are trying to integrate our economy with the world. Clearly, as some of you may have studied, no part of the world, no country in the world became a developed nation without engaging in international trade in a big way. Those countries which closed their doors, worked only within their own ecosystem, restricted engagement with the rest of the world, have never really prospered. Maybe a rare case or two. But it's those countries which went out into the world, competed on equal terms, competed on price, on quality, on delivery, on service. They are the countries who have been successful, who have prospered, who took prosperity to their citizens' day-to-day lives. And therefore, as we are looking at restructuring, resetting our own way of working, even within the government. So the Commerce Ministry only today has released a 13-volume document prepared by one of the top consultancies in the world in collaboration with the ministry to revamp the entire structure of the Commerce Ministry, to make ourselves more relevant to the times, to make ourselves modern, to be able to work with the rest of the world. Similarly, I think organizations will also have to, institutes, universities, colleges, education, all will have to relook at what we are doing. And that's the whole purpose of the new education policy. It's to change what has been happening for years and years. It's not about change of curriculum as much as a change of mindset. and along with that, of course, using digital technologies and modern tools to give high quality education even to the remotest corners of the country. And therefore, with your permission, I'd like to make a few suggestions. I'll start with something that I hope you will all like. I would like to suggest, do you have a students' council here? I hope it's a vibrant body. Who's the president? Is he here? You. What's your name? Sujan. Sujan means creation. Wonderful. But you'll be graduating, right? So we'll make you a mentor. Who will be the incoming Students' Council president? Oh, wonderful. So Nari Shakti, in any case, Nari Shakti has been in full display in the honors. What's her name, beta? Suniti Venkat. So great. Now I'd like to task you, Suniti, with a word. It's not in my powers, but I would like to urge the management committee or is it a board of governors? Board of management. So I'd like to urge the board of management to consider at your next meeting, which should be held at the earliest opportunity, if possible within this month, and sanction 10 crore rupees to the Students' Council. I'm sorry I have not taken the approval either of the Chancellor or the Vice Chancellor, so please don't let me down. But I'd like that fund, beta, to be used based on your customer feedback, and your customer are your students, right? You could even ask the alumni to give you some suggestions based on their life at the campus and see what needs to be done to make this a more buzzing campus, to make it more exciting. If there are any facilities that need to be set right, if there's any improvements in your canteen, which is a very, very important place to be in, at least during student life, what needs to be done in terms of maybe upgrading any of your existing facilities, and of course, the new Convocation uniform. The rest of it, the modalities, please work out with the Vice Chancellor and your faculty members. But I do think, having come here for the second time, and please keep in mind you have a Kolkata campus also. Please don't discriminate. भेदभाव मत करना. नहीं, अगर भेदभाव होगा तो मेरे ऊपर राजनीतिक आरोप भी लग सकता है. Thank you. So that was the first thing that I wanted to suggest, Vice Chancellor, with your approval. Great. Another suggestion, if I may make to the Board of Management, I don't know. आपने mask पहना हुआ है, so I don't know whether you're happy or sad. I'm very delighted, and I was just making some inquiries. You might be wondering why I was talking. I was not doing any small talk. I was just trying to learn a little more about the institute. But I was delighted to hear that admission at IIFT is need blind. They don't take your financial parameters into consideration when they give you admission. And that's wonderful. That's how it should be. But there may be some students who get an opportunity to get admission, but may not have the means to be able to afford this admission. And therefore, there may be many students who would otherwise be competent, who would be otherwise able to get admission, but looking at the fee structure, may not even be applying, may not even be sitting for the entrance exam. And in order to make sure that Need blind genuinely results in everybody. So even from the bottom of the pyramid, even from remote areas across the country, from the northeast, from any aspirational district across the country, we'd like to see more and more diversity on this campus. And therefore, the institute will be instituting loan scholarships so that any child who doesn't have the ability to make payment for fees or for his living expenses, they'll do the necessary formalities and the working of the scheme. But no child, and I mean absolutely no child, should be denied an opportunity to study at IIFT at any of the campuses for inability to pay tuition or living expenses. And since I'm told that most of you get very well paying jobs in the region of 30-35 lakhs, 20-25 starting, ठीक है, तो आप तो लोन रिपेमेंट 3-4 साल में ले सकते हो. I'm sure it will not be a very difficult thing to be able to repay in say 3 years. Even if your starting is 25, I think by the third year, if you don't even rise to 35, फिर तो ये education में ही कुछ flaw निकलेगा. And अगर अभी 25 है, तो I can assure you with more diversity, you will be enriching the lives of the students so that by the time I come, if you invite me, for the next convocation, you'll be able to report that starting salaries have gone up to 35 lakhs. I would also like to suggest, is that one too many? Or is it okay? All right. I'd like to suggest we look at an international syllabus in a campus. Maybe we could start it at the Gift City. You know, at Gandhinagar, we have a Gift City, which is India's first international financial services center. If we can put together a team of faculty members, if possible, maybe some of the students who were just now receiving medals, if you could spend a little time to give back to your alma mater, if you could devise a syllabus, I don't know how long that will take, when you can start, but do the modalities. But if we can start an international syllabus, which focuses on international trade, international quality of education, maybe it could even be a dual degree. Now with the new education policy, we are encouraging institutes to confer dual degrees in partnership with foreign universities and colleges. You yourself mentioned about some engagement with Nebraska and things like that. I would of course urge you to look at more well-known universities across the world. I'm sure, given the quality of students and the high quality of education that is imparted at IIFT, we could certainly look at some very prestigious universities with whom we can tie up for dual degrees. We could start at the Gift City so that there's an international flavor. Students could be encouraged to spend part of the time at the campus abroad, part of the time at the campus in India. And if you want later, you could even do that in Delhi or Kakinada or Kolkata. But do consider a campus in the Gift City, because you will be preparing students who will, in my humble opinion, get grabbed by organizations and institutions which are coming in big number at the Gift City. And then your median or average salary, I assure you, will take a big jump. So that could be another expansion program that could help you reach newer people. Finally, I would urge you to look at your alumni association getting some teeth. And may I request some of the alumni present here to please take this up in mission mode. Can we get these 48,000 alumni, or as many of them as possible? But certainly let's cross the 35,000 mark and get the alumni coming into the directory or website that you have created and see how they can contribute both to their alma mater and to nation building. In this digital world, and certainly with the lessons learned in COVID, a lot of things are hybrid. And I think alumni, wherever they may be, in whichever part of the world, even if they were to give 1 day in a week, 1 day in a fortnight, 1 day in a month, their education plus their real life experience combined can be a game changer for our students, can help us give them real life experience. And you know how you will benefit? You will be able to pick up some of these bright kids when you engage with them, when you are interacting with them over maybe your online classes, or if you're able to fly down to Delhi or Kakinada or Gandhinagar or West Bengal, you will actually be able to engage with your successors, if I may call them, and pick up some of the bright minds here, which could help in your work, wherever and whatever you are doing. So I would urge the Alumni Association, and I hope every one of you who is graduating today will be a part of this Alumni Association by tomorrow. Is that okay? It's all on the website, right? So just at least do the effort tomorrow while you are celebrating and everything else to take membership of the Alumni Association, and let's try and make this a vibrant family across the world. And there's a lot of dynamic power in such a family. Please be comfortable. There's a lot of power. You know, when you'll be traveling to different parts of the country or going abroad for your work, you'll have a directory where you can connect with your institute's alumni. It'll help you in your work. It'll help you feel more comfortable in newer areas. And in the times of need or any difficulty, I assure you, an alumni will always be ready and willing to help, as I hope you will be to the other alumni or to the students of the institute. So please look at strengthening the Alumni Association. I think that will be a great contribution during Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and that will help us in the next 25 years as we are looking at growing our international trade, and we are not looking at the normal routine growth. We are looking at growth by leaps and bounds. So the target we have for the immediate future is to increase our exports of goods and services from $675 billion last year, that is about 50 lakh crores, which is itself an all-time record, to at least 3x, that is 2 trillion by 2030. That's the immediate goal. It also shows you the opportunity for all of you. And going forward, I think this will expand manifold, because the moment you cross the cusp or the inflection point, then things grow even faster. So I would urge each one of you to become a part of this movement, and in this Amrit Kal, the next 25 years, see how we can all work towards a prosperous India. Friends, a lot of work is happening in the country. A lot of issues are there across the world which we are grappling with. But I do hope that as each one of you leaves this institute with your degree, with your education with you, you will go with tremendous belief in yourself. Those who believe in themselves, those who believe in their country, those who believe that they have a role to play in the future of their country, those who believe that they will contribute to our beloved nation, they are the ones who are most successful, who will go forward, who will achieve big things in life. I could go on and on, but that same poetry in this country, and since I don't accept mementos, I think you are smarter to get me a book. In the last para of this poem, gives me my cue, and you'll understand as I finish. In this country, people should stop talking and be quiet. But the rest of it is political, so. But the words I speak must be heard always and greeted with applause. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and inspiring address. Thank you once again. I now request Head, Graduate Studies in Management Division, to seek permission from the Chancellor, IIFT, for the conferment of degrees.
In this 55th convocation, 605 students will be graduating out with degrees and diplomas in different programs. So I seek your permission, sir, that the degrees and diplomas be conferred on them. Thank you, sir. So degrees and diplomas are deemed to be conferred.
Kolkata Center to propose the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, Viniji. God wants us to know that life is a series of beginnings, not endings, with or without pandemics. Just as graduations are not endings but commencements. अब जो बदतर है आदमी था कभी, इसको कहते हैं इंतजार मियां। इसी ख्याल में हर शामें इंतजार कटी, इसी ख्याल में हर शामें इंतजार कटी। वो आ रहे हैं, वो आए जाते हैं। आपको और इंतजार नहीं कराते हुए इस अवसर में धन्यवाद प्रस्ताव आपके समक्ष रखने की अनुमति चाहता हूं। सबको इस सुनहरे शाम का अभिवादन। Chairman of the ceremony, Shri Subramanyam, esteemed Chief Guest of the Convocation, Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal, Vice Chancellor of the Institute, Professor Manoj Pant, distinguished invited guests, board members, faculty colleagues, officers and staff, passing out graduates and their parents in absentia, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. As we move towards the close of this ceremony, it's my pleasure to extend a vote of thanks to all who have made this occasion memorable and grand success. This convocation is a memorable one in the history of IIFT as it marks the 55th convocation and celebrated in the Diamond Jubilee year of the institution. On this occasion, let me first express our deep and heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Shri Piyush Goyal, for his exhilarating address. I'd like to quote from Tirukural. Insolal Idalika Vallark Tansolal Tan Gandanalatil Ulahi. Meaning thereby, it's pleasant speech. Who gives and guards with powerful liberal hand his liberal words and exhilarating address deserves attention and applause. We are grateful for the presence of our Chairman Sri D.V.R. Subramaniam, Principal Secretary and Chairman IIFT. Sri Subramaniam Bharati, the renowned Tamil poet and freedom fighter, writes, "ஏட்டை துடைப்பது கையாலே மன வீட்டை துடைப்பது மெய்யாலே வேட்டை ஆடுவது வில்லாலே அங்கு கோட்டை பிடிப்பது சொல்லாலே." Meaning thereby, the slate would be cleaned by hands, the inner self would be cleaned by the truth. A good hunting would be done